In this video, I am going to teach you how to search email addresses and phone numbers of people you want to connect with using both LinkedIn and the company's actual websites. So here you'll see someone who I want to connect with, right? I look at his profile. I'm like, yes, this is someone I want to learn more from, whether it's from networking or maybe this person is hiring for the particular role that you applied for. What you can do is, one, you can connect with them on LinkedIn. As you can see, I'm already connected to this person. I actually have another video on how you can connect with first, second, and third connections to learn more about a position that you applied for or to network, have a coffee chat, whatever it may be. But anyways, if, for example, I message Steven, I wanted to connect with Steven, but he's not responsive on LinkedIn, I probably want to try to find his company email address. So I can do that by pressing contact info. Now you'll see his phone number listed here and his email address. Note that not everyone fills out all of this contact information, but in this case, Steven did. So I could reach him by phone. I also can reach him by email, but this is his Gmail account. This is probably a personal account as opposed to his professional company's email address. It's not the EY email address. So you can send a message here, but it's more likely that he's going to want to find that message that you're sending on his EY account. He's more likely going to be looking at his EY account than the Gmail, right? So again, this is one way in which you can find somebody's email address. What you can do is in this people also viewed section, these are probably Steven's colleagues who work at EY, right? So you can kind of keep clicking on these people, checking their contact info, seeing if their email address is listed there. You can also connect with them directly on LinkedIn. So I did that actually, where I kept clicking through the people also viewed, and I came to Megan's profile. And on Megan's profile, she's actually the same position as Steven, but I really liked what she had and what she had to offer and wanted to connect with her. And when I pressed contact info, boom, there's the EY address. And you'll notice it's first name dot last name at ey.com. So if I go back and I wanted to email Steven, likely his EY email address is steven.kurtz@ey.com. Now, this isn't a guarantee. It's not going to be 100% accurate. Sometimes, if there's multiple Steven Kurtzes, his email address may be steven.kurtz2@ey.com. Or sometimes I've seen companies even have a middle initial. So if his middle name is Roger, for example, his email address might be steven.r.kurtz@ey.com. So again, this isn't 100% effective. You might get some kickback emails, but more likely than not, you're going to hit the person that you need to. So that's kind of one way you can do it. And remember, when you go to the EY page, right, you go to the company itself and you look at the people, you can actually see who all has worked there. And if you want to connect with any of them, it's likely that their email address is firstname.lastname@ey.com. So that's a way in which you can find somebody's email address or phone number if you can't get a hold of them on LinkedIn using their LinkedIn account, right? Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to look at the company's page. So even after you did all this research on LinkedIn, you can't find anything, what you may need to do is go to the actual company's page. So for this example, I'm going to go to United Rentals. And there's a lot of different tabs, a lot of different options in this. Again, this isn't going to be, a one size fits all. This isn't going to be an exact method for every company. Some companies list these things, sometimes they don't. It really depends on how big they are. So I'm just going to use this example, but these are different methods that you can do to try to search. So on their homepage, what I can do, say, for example, I want to reach out to HR or talent about a position that I just applied for. Sometimes you can go to the careers page and you'll find the talent email. Now, this may be in a ton of different places. It could be in the job description itself at like the very, very bottom. It says like, for more information, contact talent at United Rentals or ur.com, like whatever it is, right? So you can try to look through here, see at the bottoms of the pages if they have anything. You can also look at the About Us section and kind of look through these different things here as well to see what they offer. You could check social media handles. So you see LinkedIn here, but they also might have Facebook, Twitter. They might provide more of that email information. So that's one section that you can look at, right? Again, you can look at the careers page, especially if you want to reach out to someone on the human resources or talent team. And that message could look something along the lines of, hey, I just applied for, XYZ job at United Rentals. Here's my resume attached. I'd love to learn more about the hiring and recruitment process and would love to chat with you to learn more about your experience at United Rentals, right? Something along those lines to not only let them know that you've applied, but then also that you want to engage in conversation with them. Another way that you can do it is by looking at the company page, right? At the About Us. On the About Us page, again, it sometimes has this information and it sometimes doesn't. It just really, really depends on company by company. But one of the better indicators of if it's located somewhere is on like the Our Team page. And in this particular instance, United Rentals actually has corporate leadership. So you can even understand like what their organizational structure looks like, kind of what their C-suite executives are, like who is in those. There's a long laundry list. And say, for example, you wanted to reach out to TJ Mahoney. You're applying for a supply chain role and you wanted to connect with this department, right? If you click on here, unfortunately, it doesn't have his email address, right? So aside from, connecting with people within your particular role or department, this is also another place where you can find human resources contacts. And they're kind of a little bit of everywhere. It could be within talent, employee relations, rewards. Like there's a lot of different places in which HR sits. In this case, it could be, most likely after looking through this list, it's Christina Madry, right? So like I said, you're clicking on these accounts, you can't really find the information, right? So what you can do, another place where you can look is in their news and events. So sometimes companies and whoever wrote the different articles are listed at the bottom. You can also look at investor relations. Sometimes different reports have a point of contact on there. But say, for example, I click on the press release, right? I'm going to scroll down here and boom, at the very bottom, you see the contact. You see Ted Grace, you have his phone number, you have his cell phone number, and you have the nomenclature for United Rentals. First letter of first name, last name at ur.com. So when I'm looking back at corporate leadership and say I wanted to reach out to human resources, it could be C Madry at ur.com. For TJ, it might be a little bit tricky. It might be T Mahoney. It might be TJ Mahoney. Again, this is kind of, it's kind of a toss-up in that sense. Again, this is not something that's going to be 100% accurate. You might get kickback or something that might be undeliverable, but again, this is just a way to try to find something to see what's out there. You can also call. There's no problem in calling either like a business manager or an assistant, or maybe some of these contact us buttons, just to see kind of, even asking them, hey, I want to get a hold of X, Y, and Z. Would you be able to provide the best email address for me to learn more? So again, that's a great way to just kind of find somebody's email address, contact information, phone number, whatever it may be, when you can't find it elsewhere. Again, it requires a little bit of snooping. It might require some manual work. It might not be 100% effective, but you'll at least get somewhere. Hope this helps, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much.